any investor, especially most investors, or all investors, want to get the highest possible return for their investment. Same thing goes with property investors. Now, the thing is, the objective is to get higher rent, but it's not always the best practice to take the best offer available. There are several reasons why a higher rent may not be the best offer for the landlord. First one, creditworthiness. The tenant may have a poor record, being unstable, not paying rent on time, a bad financial record. Is it worth the risk taking this person on? Maybe they're willing to pay higher rental, but it's a cost-benefit situation. If they go broke, you may be left with a vacant premises for a period of time. That's a risk to take in mind. Or you may decide to take a better credit rating tenant for a longer lease. And you're taking less risk because you've got a better record, you're getting lower rent, but you sleep better at night. Length of lease. Some tenants may only want a premises for a short period of time and willing to pay a higher amount. Or vice versa, they might want you only got a short-term lease available and they've got to pay less. So the length of the lease is an important factor. A longer lease is obviously more desirable in most cases, but it depends what the objective of the landlord is in the future. If they want to vacate it or bring the lease in sync with the other leases so that they've got an option at the end of all the leases on whether they should possibly redevelop the property. Tenant improvements. Maybe the tenant may want to improve the premises and may offer a lower rent because I'm making these improvements. Or then again, the landlord might make the improvements and charge a higher rental. It's something you negotiate with a lease. Maintenance and repair. Well, you negotiate with the tenant if there is a problem with some of the items in there. You know, it may not be a major problem with another previous tenant, but this tenant is a problem. So you may negotiate that they look after a certain piece or pieces of equipment for a reduction of rent. Something to negotiate with. Legal compliance. You know, some tenants have got some crazy businesses which you're not sure whether they complies. You think it complies. And some landlords are tempted to just chuck a blind eye at it, accept the higher rental, and possibly suffer the consequences down the track. It is a risk to take into account. Bear in mind, if you do accept this, you may be liable to fines in the future. Another situation, tenant mix. You may have a tenant who's totally different to the rest of the tenants, willing to pay high rental. You've got to work out, well, how will they get along? Are they so different to everyone else? Do they use more power? They use more of the increases in maintenance of the property because of their use. You've got to weigh all this out. Whether they're the right person for that particular mix of tenants in the property you've got. And you know, maybe it could be someone that doesn't bring much foot traffic in, and you're relying on foot traffic for the premises in retail situation. Maybe it's an office, and you know, usually want to, you've got someone in the same kind of mix that will bring more people, so they all feed off each other. In conclusion, landlords should consider a variety of factors beyond just the rent the tenants want to pay. They should consider the long-term benefits of having good, well-paying tenant for the long term. And what lease improvements, tenant improvements, and the tenant mix in order to make the best decisions for the property. Should consult with your lawyer to make sure everything's fine, and obviously discuss it with your property person you're dealing with. Onto your comments. Please leave them below.